taken away from you for international duty. Next time be you
Yeah.
doing the taking. How are you feeling going into this now final part, not just of the season, but your time at Chelsea?
Good question. I'm not sentimental about it. I did when I drove in this morning, maybe start taking in some things that I might just, breeze past, not think twice about it. I'm absolutely committed to doing everything I possibly can to help the team achieve its goals, and I'm looking forward to it.
And how are the players feeling with the same circumstance, the fact that there's a lot to play for still, and this is your final month in charge?
Listen, the team wants to win for themselves. They want to win for the football club. They want to win for their families. They want to win because they're winners. They're sick to death of what they need to do for me, and that's fair. It's not about me, it's about them and us as a collective, making sure we maximise the situations we're in. There's 3 pieces of silverware up for grabs. I'm very grateful to be in the position to be competing for them, and as I said before, we're looking forward to it.
And any concerns coming back from international duty? Any players with niggles, knocks?
No, I don't. We've had a session where today is some are in part of it, but no, we don't have. I believe we have a full quota to select from.
And Millie Bright, is she edging closer and closer?
That's a good question. Again, she was in with the group today, so she was doing some basic actions with the group. She's been out a long time, so I think it's unfair to put that pressure on Millie, and I don't know when that will be.
Now, it's been 2 weeks since the Conti Cup final, and now the dust has settled.
Yeah.
Have you managed to reflect on what happened, not just at the game, but what happened after the game as well?
Well, my son said to me after the game, "Mummy, when you push someone in school, you're asked to go and take time out." And I said to him, "You know what, darling? You can't meet aggression with aggression. All you can do is tell the teacher. All you can do is go and, explain to the teacher, why, you think something's unfair." I said, even if the players go to the teacher, even if the parents go to the teacher, that's all you can do. You cannot meet aggression with aggression. And I thought it was a really good conversation to have with my son after the final.
Is there anything about what happened afterwards, not just on the pitch, but also in the press conference afterwards with comments that you made? Would you change any of that, or would you stand by everything you said?
So when at times the mob is swayed, to carry praise or blame too far, we may choose somewhere like a star to stay our minds on and be slayed.
Can you explain and elaborate the meaning behind that?
I've had a fantastic break. I've already explained an important analogy that I shared with my son and the lessons learned, and my focus is on moving forward, and I've had time to look at my star.
I get that. Can I just ask about that? Jonas spoke earlier, he described the comments made as irresponsible. Do you understand where he's coming from? Is that something you can go, okay, I accept that, and let's look to move on now?
I don't have an opinion on it.
Okay, and final question from me. I think I asked you this maybe a few months ago when it first arose, the future Chelsea manager. There's been lots of reports again in the press. Is there an announcement to make soon about who the successor is going to be?
I can't comment on people at other clubs.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Hi Emma, how are you?
Hey, you're new to the job.
Kind of. Chelsea have a really good record against Manchester United, unbeaten in the last 10. Is that an added factor for you ahead of the weekend?
No, it's an opportunity, and one where we've always been really tough games, and we're going away from home after international break. They're always tough games, but as I said before, we're really happy to be in the position to compete. That's what we're looking forward to.
Excellent job, Ella, well done. BBC Sport?
Hi there, Matt Grove from BBC Sport. Just a quick chat first, Emma, if that's okay, about opening game against United. It's your last season, so you obviously want to leave on a high. Is there more pressure now on this game following the Arsenal defeat in the cup?
I mean, that helps your headlines this week. You know, you decide that. Every game's a pressure when you're the manager of Chelsea, but no, there's no particular, exception to that based on a previous result.
And I know there's still a few games to play, but just sum up in your own words, your own thoughts this season for Chelsea.
I can't. We're in the middle of it, and you have to ask me at the end.
To go back to the altercation at the end of the game with Arsenal, I know you made a few comments, so thank you for that. I'll try not to repeat any questions already asked, but how have you personally processed it? You mentioned the chat with your son, but in the weeks that followed, did you have a little look at yourself? Have you gone through any particular emotions you can share with us?
No, I've said everything I need to and done the reflections that are important. As I said, you can't meet aggression with aggression.
Jonas said that he didn't want the media to put too big a spin on it, to keep it in perspective. Had he pushed you in the same manner, would you have felt the same?
I've said everything I need to say on it. I think we need to focus on the game at the weekend. That's the important talking points, and we need to move past that.
We certainly do, and that's definitely, I'm sure, what more questions will be, but you can understand why there is media interest in that kind of altercation following a professional game with somebody of your calibre. When we talk about respect so much within the sport, you can understand why we're asking these questions.
Yeah, of course, you know, that's what you're paid to do. I totally understand that. As I've said already, of course it's not right to meet aggression with aggression. Just, I can only control my own behaviours, and I've reflected on that, and next time I just need to listen to my son's advice, and I need to go to the teacher if I've got anything to say.
Final question on this, and then we will move on. Jonas said he would be willing to have a conversation with you once the dust settled. It's been a couple of weeks now. Has that happened, or do you anticipate that happening?
We don't play Arsenal. We don't have each other's telephone numbers. We'd have no reason to do that. But I'm sure when I become the boss of the USA, we will have conversations. But until the end of the season, my focus is on Chelsea.
Can we just have a quick word, please, on Rachel Daly, because she obviously shot retirement from the international scene this week. Just a few words on her, how good she was for England, what she was like as a player, so versatile, etc.
Yeah, brilliant player, really brilliant leader in so many ways. I admire the way Rach plays and everything she's given to club and country. I was a little surprised at the news, but of course everything's always personal to people, and so people don't realise how difficult it is sometimes when you play in a number of positions and you're considered quite versatile and you've had to adapt in certain ways. Rach Daly has proved at the very highest level, in World Cups, in European Championships, she could not only play as a striker but as a fullback and a wide player, and trust me, you can't underestimate the qualities you must have to possess that. And I think Rach is a superhuman, someone I probably would have liked to have coached, to be honest. It's my type of person, and I wish her all the best.
And finally, can you talk a little bit ahead of the game about kind of tactics? I know you said everyone was fit, and without giving too much away, of course.
We've only had, 45-minute session, so you can't deliver an awful lot. We'll get a little more tactical 11v11 work tomorrow. Really, you can't achieve a lot. We'll get the set pieces done, get the strategy right in the classroom, and as I said 1,000 times, we're used to a one-day build or a 1.5 day build, and we'll just prepare as we always do.
Thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thanks.
Bradley.
Hi Emma, hope you're well. I know you mentioned earlier that you're still fighting on for the Champions League and the WSL as well, but as it is your final season at Chelsea, if you were to get through to the final this weekend, how much would it mean to you to have that one final moment at Wembley as Chelsea boss?
I don't think about it because, as you know, in top level football, you can't run away with those things. I think I want to do everything I can for the team in whatever capacity, and I know as a team we've done so well over multiple years. I've said this many times. I don't think in the last 5 years any team's played the volume of games we have, let alone the number of finals we've reached, and that takes its toll in so many ways. So I just have so much admiration for the players to keep doing it again and again. And I would really hate to be at this stage of the season not competing for anything. So I'm happy to be in a place where we've got FA Cups, Champions League, leagues to still be in. I think that certainly keeps the group nice and motivated.
You've been vocal about prize money in the FA Cup in previous years, and it has increased this year. Is it enough, or was there more work to be done, do you think?
I don't know what the numbers are, and I think I've always been an advocate of, trying to, push that up, and I'm sure my opinion won't change on that.
I wanted to ask you about Hannah Hampton as well, because she started for England in the week. She's been so impressive for you since coming into the side. What have you made of her performances? And now there's a really intriguing battle between her and Mary Earps for that #1 shirt with England too.
Yeah, I mean, Hannah's, come into the club, really, she's fought really hard to get into the position she's in. She knew and accepted what that was when she came to the club, and that's why I think it's always important for the players to trust their own hearts about the things that matter most. And she has, I think, grown and learned in many ways. I've said this to many people. She's been an absolute joy to coach. She's been like a sponge, so coachable, really infectious, really gives a lot of energy to the group. And no matter what role she has, I think she's dealt with that really well, even when she wasn't playing. I think she's managed that. But I also think that's easier as a younger goalkeeper. And I think that she's had to accept, still things she has to grow up with. But she's doing them, and I'm proud of how she's developing.
And lastly from me, I'm sure you get asked every week about Lauren James, but how impressed have you been by the maturity she's shown to step up amidst the injury crisis that you've got here at the minute, and really kind of go to another level for her performances?
I don't think it's just for us. Look at her goal contributions for England. This is a player that's contributed a lot of goals for club and country, whether assists or goals, and that's a responsibility I put on her at the beginning of the year, and she's really maturing into that. She's got her up her trainer game though, because I think mine's a bit better than hers at the minute. But other than that, she's doing all right.
That's great. Best of luck this weekend. Thank you.
Any more from the room before we go across the Zoom?
I just wanted to ask Emma how you feeling sort of, going into this cluster of games, you rested from this international break, and is the team in a good shape? Because it's a pretty defining moment, this little cluster, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've learned over years to really take the time in the international breaks to rejuvenate and get fresh, because when you're having to do 8-10 game blocks, it does take its toll on you, and I've said this many times, we're not in the position where we've got 4 games between now and May 21st. So when it's the players I feel for, especially international players, they literally go and they have to go again. So I'm fortunate, as many of the staff, that we can get a little bit of a respite in this period. And I always say, if I don't do that, then I'm not going to be at my best for the team. So yeah, no, I feel fresh, focused, and just ready for the last part.
I'm just conscious, one of the reasons you're leaving Chelsea is to have a lighter schedule, so this is the tail end of your Chelsea time, right, where you're kind of hanging in there as a person, right? Is that how it feels, sort of a bit? Or are you sort of refreshed just now, sat here after that break?
Well, I haven't had a new job for 12 years, so there are things that come with that are new moments for me. But when you're wedded to your family, and that's what this place has been to me, is that I won't start that detachment process until it's over. And in fact, I probably won't do that for a while, because I have to jump from one to the next. So I think to my quote from The Road Less Travelled earlier, my reflections are that I've got to stay as present as possible. And that takes a lot of work every day to not deal with all of the things that go on, and that's being mindful. And being mindful in my practice is something that I'm going to have to really tap into my breath work and meditation and doing that, because I think it's easy to maybe lose a little bit of control on that, and I don't want to do that, because I'm a lot happier and a lot more content when I'm a lot more present.
Thanks, Niz.
What was your biggest takeaway from the cup final defeat, and how will that change your approach going into the rest of the season and most notably on Sunday?
Well, VAR impact had an impact, and I want VAR. Let me be clear about that. So I'm great for that. I think that's essential, even if it worked against us. It's tight. You go and these games can go either way. You get the first goal, different game. But no, listen, like I said, I would hate to be in the position where we're not in the FA Cup, or competing for the league, or competing for the Champions League. I'd feel a lot worse. It's a loss, but we've got other things to look forward to.
Brilliant. That's a lovely sign.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any more on Zoom? Speak now. All right, Kit. We'll finish with you, if that's okay.
Hi Emma, hope you're well. Can I just ask about, just to go back to the poem you recited, is poetry something you've lent on for a long time? Is this a recent thing? Your relationship with poetry.
Have you read the book?
No, I'm not that intelligent, sadly.
You look it to me.
Suspect.
Read it. It's a great book. I will. I'll lean on lots of things, not just poetry. I've got different mentors. I've got different spiritual leaders. I've got a great family. I've got all of those things. Like, being in my position is not easy. So I need to keep my sanity. And, I'm grateful that, things like that help.
Thanks, Emma. And can I just check, when you're talking about, when you're speaking to your son about you can't mix aggression with aggression, you're still talking about male aggression in that scenario?
I've already answered the question.
I think we'll leave it there, Kit. I think Emma's answered that pretty conclusively. But thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll end it there.
Thanks.